Hi, this is BB. Right now, my neck all over. It just feels it's almost hurting. The bone is hurting. I am pretty sure it's GRAPHANE. That's GRAPHANE. I'm sure of it. Because I've seen how that substance reacts to a cell phone. You see my eyes? They've been doing this to me for the last 2 or 3 days. On certain times of the month, they amplify what they do. They amplify it to an extreme. They amplify it. They've found ways, and they've experimented on me for 3 years. They have found ways to basically commit murder without touching the person. But they have to touch them at least once. Some people were saying that what happened in 2020, that problem, that pandemic that we had, the solution carried trace amounts of graphene. I'm not sure. I shouldn't have said the word graphene, but I did. I said it again. I'm not sure. But anyway, trace amounts of that. I'm not sure. There's one member of this group of people that tortures me, likes to always threaten. This is the hacker. He likes to threaten with getting the channel shut down. Frankly, what does it matter? What does it matter? Everything you do. The thing is, the intelligence level of the group also, it leaves a lot to be desired. It's like they would cut your hand off just to tell you that you can't feed yourself. And they just cut your hand off. The severity is gone, is lost. The fact that they cut your hand off, oh my God, is lost. What in the world, are you kidding me, is lost. And just to make a point that you can't feed yourself, and your hand is laying on the ground, or it's in one of their back pockets, and you're bleeding profusely. Do you see what I mean? It's not just the callousness, the complete disassociation from whatever is happening. It's the aftermath of that disassociation, because they are invested. You're invested in mocking you with whatever infirmary they caused. Whether they stubbed your toes, or put their foot out, you stubbed your toes, they fell and you bruised your knees. Oh, look at your knees, you'll have a scar now. Who do you think? You think anybody will like you with those scars? You know. So there is an interaction, judgment, a complete what's the word? Disassociation, association. There's a complete joining together or coming together, or what would be the term? Disassociating on one end, completely devoid of the act of violence against the person. Like if it didn't exist, there's no emotion to it, there's nothing there, it's just a complete blank. It's just a thing. It's either good or bad, it's just a thing they just did. But the end result would be what they needed. Cut your hand off so you can't feed yourself, to prove that you can't feed yourself. You're too dumb and stupid, not to mention you don't have a hand. And worse, they just cut it off. So the most gruesome part of that would be if they lopped your hand off and they're completely disassociated from that horrendous act. The consequences, how illegal it is, how horrendous it is, what a sin it is, what a criminal activity it is, to the petty and trivial, you can't eat your food. This is kind of like what they do. This is the highlights of dealing with these people. They're all in my head. I'm trying to get this online course for life insurance and health insurance. I don't like these things. I'm not emotionally invested in this. I'm disassociated from this, but not to mention they're all in my head. And I'm having a hard time. I'm reading it, and how I know I'm getting disrupted is parts of my words are it's like I'm having run-of-the-mill words that I know the meaning of. I have to read it several times just to grasp a simple sentence or a statement or question. Like, for example, an attending physician's statement would be appropriate for which life insurance purpose? I don't know. I have to read that like 2 or 3 times before I get it. How so? I don't know. Like I'm reading it, but it's not registering, is what I'm saying. Because it's like, whatever this neural linking is, it's just too many of them. And I have some of these words, I have to read them like 2 or 3 times, and I keep mispronouncing the word, which didn't happen before. Anyway, my nose is burning to an extreme right now. This joltings in my nose, out my nose, my forehead, my chest, my throat, my back. It's just burning and just quivering like that. I just want to know there's something that's reacting, and it's clicks. Oh, I got a new desktop. I think a new desktop for working with one of these live ops to work online. I was having a problem with the VGA cord because I have one cable and it's a male to male, and the desktop has a male also, so I needed a female, so I had to call Dell, it's a refurbished one from Amazon. Dell, first thing they asked me, what's your federal ID? I'm like, I don't have one. They said, well, it's registered, it used to be a federal, we belong to the federal government. So I thought, yes. And I called Dell, I called Best Buy, I think, or Dell, I called 2 people, 2 places, and when they got the information, they asked me for my federal ID. I said, I don't know. I don't have one. And they said, well, my thing is, I thought, well, these people they're not going to hack a federal computer because it's still registered to the federal government. It's still registered to the federal government. They did. Within 24 hours, it became the slowest piece of machinery, and you're on the browser, and the pages are not loading. They're telling you bad gateway. And I went down to 2.8 megabytes per second. And it wouldn't load at first. And it was off all night. I unplugged it all night. So, I don't know. I think what really pumps them up is like their sheer caution to the wind type thing. They don't care. It's unless they do something stupid with it, like maybe child pornography or something bad. Now, this is still registered to the federal government. Now, I don't know who the federal agent was who owned it before I got it. I don't know. That's another thing. I'm very careful and on the lookout because I don't know these things. These people have a tendency to set people up. They have a tendency to set people up. And I don't trust them. This is why I'm putting this out on YouTube. It's still registered to the federal government. I was hoping that would buy me some fear, at least to get them off my back, but it didn't work, because it's still active. This here I can't take, I can't breathe. It's like, I need some help. I don't know how much of this shit they've put in. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, hope you're safe, all of you. I hope you're thinking in terms of being positive and that this will end. And keep strong on your faith and your prayers.